When people hear of advertising, they think of newspapers, radio, TV, billboards, and other mass media channels. Davis Nyamare's creative new idea in the Kenyan advertising industry has become a game changer. He conceptualized an idea which enables advertisers to place an advert on digital boards on top of cars, reaching many people. The digital tops also record live data on actual number of people viewing the advert at any given time. Nyamare, a young entrepreneur, lived and worked in the United States for 15 years before coming back to Kenya to start his firm, Meelin Advertising. It is this stay that opened his mind to a new experience in the United States. On coming back, he used the experience to change the norm in the advertising industry.
I am Davis Nyamare, CEO of Meelin Advertising Agency.
I'm Robbins Alima, Operations Manager.
Alright, so we started back in 2015 when I actually came back from the US after around 9 to 10 years actually. And when I came, I figured there's a need for a different platform for advertising because all I saw was billboards, newspapers, TV, radio, so the regular type of advertising. And we hadn't yet gone into new modes of advertising. So I figured that this would definitely be a unique platform for clients to actually see a way to advertise to their clientele. So that's basically how the idea got born out. But initially we hadn't even gone to that point of starting with the taxi tops. We had a totally different idea, so we had to pivot after going to a few clients, first of all inquiring about what is really needed in the market. Then after that, we started with the taxi advertising.
Nyamare had a clear picture of what he wanted to establish, and having built this idea while still in the United States, setting it up in Kenya was easy. He teamed up with a childhood friend based in Nairobi to set up the business 2 years ago.
Davis is around or when he's not around, we've always been communicating. So communication is a day-to-day basis through which we do interact. And it was like, hey, we have an idea, we need to make some kind of things moving. So that's when we came up with an idea of how can we be able to make money out of this. So first it was a different idea, as I told you. We were planning to doing the buses, that is matatus and buses, but eventually we found more ways in taxi to advertising. Yeah.
Meelin Advertising was started with the aim of changing the trends in the advertising industry in Kenya.
Our company that provides unique platforms to our clients for advertising. Some of the unique products that we actually have offered are taxi tops. We have the classical taxi top, the digital taxi top, and the LCD that's actually put in the headrest of the taxi. Yes.
Meelin Advertising majors in using taxi tops and LCD to advertise brands. The materials that they use in this trade are imported from Japan.
In Japan, we have a partnership with them. So what happens is when we have a client, which has been our strategy, when we have a client and the client has basically signed a contract, we're able to ship the products into our country within 2 weeks pretty much. So the client, the time for the client to actually have the advertisement on the road, especially for the classical toppers, is within 2 to 3 weeks at most per se. Initially when we started, we tried as much as possible to actually find in-house manufacturers, basically manufacturers in Kenya, but we could not find any manufacturers in Kenya. So we opted to actually ship the products out because we go there and actually look at the products and make sure that they're high quality. But our intention in the future is to actually have the products manufactured here, right? So that at the end of the day, it does create employment in Kenya itself.
Nyamare explains that depending on the type of the topper requested by the customer, whether digital taxi top or otherwise, the time required varies.
The digital one might take a month, but we make sure that we tell the client that it will take a lead time of at least a month for that product to actually be on the road, because we inform our partners in Japan to actually start manufacturing the product, and then from there, once it's finished, we bring it over to the market and display it, pretty much.
This mode of advertising is highly unique and advantageous given its outstanding features. For instance, each topper is fitted with minute cameras which can recognize faces as either male or female. From these cameras, the team at Meelin can provide factual data to its customers detailing the number of people who were reached by the message, an approximation of their age and gender.
Alright, the one thing that really makes our product stand out in the market is that we are able to collect and provide data to a client. So when you basically choose to take on, let's say, 20 taxis, which is our minimum, we'll be able to give you specific data on the number of consumers that have actually seen your product. So hypothetically speaking, if you've had 20 taxi tops, on a weekly basis, we can tell you you've had 100,000 people viewing your advertisement. You've had a conversion rate of around 5 or 10 or 20%, basically meaning the people who've actually been able to view your advertisement and sort of paid attention to it for more than 5 seconds, right? And we'll tell you if it's male or if it's female. We'll give you at least of an age group of what they are. So we'll collect that data, which internally really helps you know what your ROI is and know that you're not just spending money out there blindly. So basically our taxi tops have minute cameras that are able to do facial recognition. So they'll be able to know how many people are actually looking at the taxi or looking at the advertisement, and they'll be able to let you know if this is a male or a female. They'll at least guess the age group and give you a range. And then at the end of the day, every month or every week, we'll be able to compile that data and just give it to you as insight.
Apart from the minute cameras, the taxi top method of advertising is more appealing because it involves moving from one place to another, making it highly visible by all people in its proximity. As would be expected, people took time to appreciate the strength of this channel of advertising, but with time it's gaining popularity. The target customers are usually the promotional advertisers and campaigners who feel that their product is not common enough to the audience. Taxi tops have now become a preference, especially in the gaming industry through betting firms. Meelin Advertising has signed in 1,500 taxis already.
Another thing, we're trying to target campaigners. So certain clients want to make maybe a campaign on a product that they think the product is not commonly known to the audience, trying to target them. So, and thirdly, we target people who are trying to add value to the advertising, like people who want to get to know the ROI to the form of the advertising. If you want to know the kind of response, whether people are trying to see advertising, because you got some kind of features, like face recognition, at the end of the day, you got data for your advertising, all that.
Product, the classical taxi, where we have a topper on top of a taxi, and you basically have space for advertising. The second product is a digital taxi, so it's a topper just put on the taxi, and it has different type of advertisements. So every client chooses their time. They can choose from 30 seconds, 15 seconds to a minute, and we have the LCD. LCD is put in the headrest of the taxi, whereby you also have a variety of advertising. We usually have a maximum of 4 clients advertising per period. So we basically have a contract with around 1,500 taxis at our disposal at any given time to actually advertise. We do pay our taxi drivers. It's become another source of income for them. So that's why we have a large number of taxi drivers who are actually willing to use their taxis for advertising. So that's basically our arrangement. We provide them with a financial benefit at the end of the month when we advertise on
The rates of the taxi tops adverts is affordable, ranging from 30,000 Kenya shillings per taxi top for a minimum of 20 taxis to around 300,000 Kenya shillings depending on the services requested.
Basically, on almost every month, there is no single month that you normally don't get a call or a client. I think a client who needs that. The only problem that comes with most of the corporate clients is, I think, the decision making, because there is no week that passes by without any client wanting to some kind of information from us. Yeah.
For that specific classical topper, we would do it at 15,000 per taxi, minimum of 20 taxis, and we would do extensive data collection, which will include customer intelligence at around 250,000 per taxi. Not per taxi, actually, per month. Yes.
Before settling on taxis, Nyamare and Robbins had thought of experimenting on matatus and buses.
The bus idea had a lot of challenges because first, the production bit of it was very much expensive. Plus, it also depends with the environment through which you're doing it. Like the matatu industry is a lot of very much complicated first, with a lot of cartels in between. But with the taxi industry, you come to realize that it's straightforward. If you're going for a company, there's just one company to deal with. Plus, the production bit of it is not all that. It's just straightforward, let me just say so. And then secondly, with the matatu industry, we're targeting print media, strictly print media. So, and looking at electrical media with the matatu industry, the security was very low. Yeah. So looking at the taxi industry, there's high security in that as compared to the matatu industry. So that's what some of the factors that made us make some kind of changes in the idea.
The two run the business with a team of 10 salespeople who are required to bring in at least 4 to 5 clients in a month. Robbins is charged with ensuring that the customers are satisfied and the expectations are met.
Alright, so basically we have a team of 10 sales ladies and gentlemen. What they do basically on a daily basis is go to at least 4 to 5 clients each. And we started with this team a month ago, and they've actually been doing so well so far. And we intend to proceed with this team for a really, really long time, because that's basically the way we go ahead and give out our proposals and explain to our clients or the clients that we prospect on what we can actually offer to them. That is our way, that's the way we basically intend to market and continue marketing in the future.
Basically in charge of operations. That's basically what's going around with the taxis, what goes around with the products, if at all there's any technical issues, if at all there is a client. My basic job is just to be sure that the client is satisfied on the ground, his product is seen, and everything just flows back into place.
My name is Teresa Kadzo. I work as a sales executive for Meelin Advertising. I'm an outdoor researcher. So I go outside, look for clients on behalf of Meelin, then I get clients on board. So it's taken, people are very excited because it's a new product. They are not used to such form of advertisement because basically our advertisement is on transit. So they are very excited about it. And they know that it will cover a wide spread, not like billboards that are always there. You just check and it's something new and unique.
The staff also includes a creative team who design the messages where the client does not offer ready adverts.
We have someone who is in charge of the fleet. That person basically helps me in terms of coordination in the field. But vehicles are and how they are operating, whatever there is a problem. So we operate with a person there. We got a team of 2 young men also who are in charge of printing and changing adverts on the ground. We also have a sales team, a very big sales team who are dailies. And yeah.
Nyamare, on the other hand, ensures that as the CEO, he bears the vision of the firm by communicating and implementing the short and long-term goals. Advertising is a game of convincing potential customers that they will get value for their money. As Nyamare explains, once an organization says it already has a budget and can't accommodate more expenses, the advertising agency reaches a dead end with that particular client until there is another budget to be drawn on costs. He, however, appreciates the fact that corporations have expanded their marketing budget and there is a likelihood of better opportunities in the near future.
Right? I have made sure that I do 3 things, actually 4 things, right? The first thing is to bring a lot of cohesion in the company, meaning I remove a lot of politics. I make the team work together, or the whole entire team work together. The second thing is I've been able to communicate the vision, actually, the vision of the company. Every single time I communicate that and exactly what we're about. The third thing that I do is over-communicate that vision, right? I over-communicate it. And then the fourth thing that I do, I try to implement that vision, that communication into the resources that we have. So human resources in our HR, in our hiring, in our interviews that we do, we're able to implement that specific vision in place so that everything just works together as a whole.
We are all like family. We get along very well. Our boss, Mr. Davis and Robbins, are very kind, and they always give us, like, when we are down, they always give us advice, motivate us. So you never feel that you're not done your work. You always feel like it's a family and we solve our problems together. There's no one who is like lacking behind. You'll say that this one does better than the other. We always help each other out, even with ideas.
Yeah, some of the challenges that we actually have faced are the fact that when we go to clients, most of the time they've already set up their budget for the whole entire year. Some clients, not all clients. Some clients have already set up their budgets for the entire year. So it kind of is hard for us to provide them the services if they already have an advertising budget for the entire year. So we have to find out when is the best time to actually go to a client. And the second challenge is some clients have a lot of bureaucracy, meaning you'd have to talk to like 5 people to actually have a decision made, which we totally understand. But we've always mentioned to clients that we want to work with decisive partners because we are decisive in the way we actually do business. We want to make sure that you know exactly what you want because we know what we can actually offer to you. So those are the main 2 challenges we've actually faced. Yeah.
He hopes to popularize taxi tops as a channel of advertising.
Ever been to New York and at the airport or flying over the airport and you've seen taxis? They all have, at least 99% of them have taxi tops, and that's exactly the vision we have for this country. We want to have at least 98 registered taxis having at least one of our products. Yeah.
The 2 entrepreneurs are highly inspirational. Their insights as enterprising young men with a vision in the advertising industry are captivating enough to challenge their age mates to give a try in business.
So entrepreneurship is the best way to go because first and foremost, as David said, you take control of your time. And most importantly, it's all about challenging. There are people who naturally just like challenges. I think I'm one of them. I don't like a situation where everything just goes smoothly. So entrepreneurship is a kind of life where you wake up one day and you just want to solve a problem. And I think you'll all agree with me that the best entrepreneurships or enterprises are based on solving problems and having things done. Yeah.
His advice to entrepreneurs is that they should venture where their interests are. For Nyamare, success in business calls for taking risks, and the younger one is, the better. He also asserts that if one is spending his or her life doing what he or she does not like, then they are not working.
So my advice to young entrepreneurs is take risks. I've always been a risk taker. The younger you are, the better. Take risks, because you actually don't have enough time in this world. So take risks, and when you're doing what you love, you're never working, honestly speaking. It's like when you love what you do, it's like you are never at work. You really just love it, you know. And always want to make somebody else's life better. Always want to inspire. Always do something, not just for the money, but to actually inspire somebody, to actually make somebody else's life better. And that's really what we're all about, is to make our team better, to inspire them to go farther and farther in life, and to just change lives, pretty much.
For the duo, family time is highly valuable, and when they're not working, spending time with the loved ones and taking enough rest is the way to unwind.
When I'm not at work, I'm with my family. I love my wife, I love my family, I love my mom. I just basically love my family.
I usually take trips with my lady. We travel. I go to a nice hotel, or just go to the ocean or something like that. So we just did that maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. And the other thing that I do to unwind is sleep. I try to get as much sleep as possible because I think it's important. But at the end of the day, I think I have fun with my lady and spend time with my family when I can, pretty much. Yeah.